platform. Here I've got some different solutions that I've built in the past, whether it be a big marketing, customer churn, or in this case, customer satisfaction. So I'll just kind of quickly jump through. In this case, we'd like to create a model that is predicting the customer satisfaction. I'll just name it that, rightly so. Once we've done that, we can then upload our data set. So here I have a series of different data sets that we have done different solutions for. In this case, I have 2 data sets. We talked a little bit about separating our training set and then having the predictive training set. So in this case, the training set is all of the historical data of the customer journey that we have and what their satisfaction is, whether it was highly satisfied or not satisfied. So it kind of ties back to the specific use case that Fabio is working on. This is more of a generalized one, but we can go into a little bit more detail. The test data set that we have is all of the customers that we're going to want to predict their future satisfaction on. Right now, it's going to quickly go ahead and just check the data to make sure it's good. Once it says it's good, here we're able to click OK. And on the top, as mentioned before, we have 3 steps: the data set, the training, and prediction tab. Let's just quickly take a look at the data. So when we were looking at customer satisfaction, it may be categorical data for gender, the customer type, age, so a lot of different demographic information. The type of travel, we talked a little bit about this. It could be, a consumer to consumer, or it could be B2B. What class of flight, how long the flight was, etc. So we have lots of different information that we've been collecting from our customers, whether they've had baggage handling or not, if they have in-flight service, whether it was good cleanliness, for example. And then and then the customer satisfaction that ideally we would have been able to collect from a survey. So we either have the customer was satisfied, or they were neutral or dissatisfied. So this is a binary classification, kind of like, are they a high risk or a low risk customer? All we'll need to do here is select the target variable, which is satisfaction, and click next. Once we've done that, the platform has understood it's a binary classification, whether somebody was satisfied with their flight or not. And the metric is accuracy. You can choose different ones, but we'll stick with this because we'll want to accurately predict whether they were satisfied or not. And then click training. All of this is automated, so we don't need to deal with any provisioning or anything like that. The Neuton platform will do that automatically for you. We can also set up a text notification, so when our model's complete, we'll get a text and we can come back to the platform and start to understand it. I've already
this is one of the features that I like the most, to get a text when the model is finished, so I don't have to be, clicking refresh or checking the home page all the time. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super convenient. Unfortunately, I put my mobile phone number in our demo account, so I'm getting text messages from all the solutions we're building. Here with the same data set, I've already trained a model, so let's just look at that. Here we can see the model took 29 minutes to train, and we have this model quality index that we saw earlier. This can vary depending on the data types and problems you're trying to solve and things like that, where we saw some issues with maybe balanced accuracy and things like that. Now within the prediction tab, this is really kind of where the interesting piece was. And earlier we saw the feature importance matrix, which is really cool. I'll go into it a little bit. Some of the things that we didn't see here were looking at the prediction tab. I've already enabled prediction. We've added this particular feature to help people like data analysts or business analysts be able to do predictions on the fly. So in this case, I would simply upload my customer satisfaction test. So this would be all of the customers I want to predict on how satisfied they are. So I have already uploaded this and enabled prediction just so we can save a little bit of time. Going a little bit deeper into what Fabio was talking about with each individual prediction. So here, Neuton has all of the features that from the test data set that we have. Everything here from the left is what Neuton has predicted and provided within the platform. So we can see different individuals who are satisfied and how probable they are of being satisfied. In this particular case, customer number 5 was neutral or dissatisfied. So this might be something we want to look into a little bit deeper. And the interesting piece here is the probability of them being neutral or dissatisfied is 75%. The probability is 25%. So this might be an interesting customer that we can look at and dive a little bit deeper. And that's where we've created what we call our model interpreter to understand this individual prediction. Here we can see they were neutral or dissatisfied with a 75% probability. Now, here we have a lot of the features that have influenced this particular prediction. In this particular case, we're looking at in-flight Wi-Fi service. So whether somebody on the flight, what quality of Wi-Fi service that they have. In this particular case, it was ranked as a 2, and they were neutral or dissatisfied with a 75%. Now, if we are able to change this value to a 4, so much higher quality of Wi-Fi, we would now have a neutral or dissatisfied of 60%. So we can see that there's some business insights or actions we can take on being able to potentially be able to provide better in-flight Wi-Fi service. We can also see different features of the type of travel, whether it was business or not. In-flight entertainment, this particular individual was ranked at a 2. If we were to up the in-flight entertainment to a 4, then we would actually predict them with a 55% probability of being satisfied. This will allow us to look at different features of individual predictions to help us gain business insights. There's just a couple of other things that I will show here. And we can also take a look at the chat and Q&A afterwards. So here is our historical model to data relevance indicator. So every month, I'm predicting the satisfaction of our customers, right? Maybe after month 2 or 3, the data starts to change and the model is no longer relevant. This percentage, say, will drop to 70%, and the tree will kind of get withered and turn yellow. So this might mean we want to now retrain a model. So this is something that we can use for a model lifetime management tool or lifecycle tool. As we saw also from a feature importance matrix perspective, we can see how potentially Wi-Fi is extremely important, as well as we've got type of flower or in-flight entertainment, gate location, whether they had baggage handling or not, etc. The last thing I will show is also an analytics tool that we've added, what we call as our exploratory data analysis. This will give you an overview of all of your data. So we have 2,700 neutral or dissatisfied and 2,000 satisfied. So it's a fairly balanced data set from Kaggle. And then we can also see if there's missing values. So there was a very small percentage of missing values. We can look at continuous data. So how is our age distribution? We can see a lot of people in the 20 to 30 range, as well as up to 40, and how that may influence the target variable. Additionally, we can look at the flight distance. A lot of the flights were here under 1,000, if we look at how the flight distance is in relation to the target variable, we have instances for neutral or dissatisfied up to about 1,000 miles. Above 1,000 miles, it looks like most people were satisfied. So we could look at, what are the flights below 1,000 where we have both cases of satisfied and dissatisfied. Additionally, when we're looking at categorical data, so in this particular case, whether it was business travel or personal travel, we can see whether they were neutral or satisfied. So from personal travel, we have a lot of neutral and dissatisfied, and a little bit of cases of satisfied. And then business travel, we can see a large distribution of satisfied customers versus non-satisfied. So we might want to take a look at what we're doing in business travel and see if we can apply some of those techniques to increase customer satisfaction as well. This is just a snapshot showing the percentage of satisfied versus not satisfied. This is one of my favorite ones. It's our correlation heat map that helps show us what features are correlated to the target variable. So in this particular case, online onboarding type of travel are fairly correlated with the target. We can also see cross correlation between cleanliness as well as seat comfort. In some cases, if some particular features are highly correlated, we might want to take a look at that and see if we want to remove them, if it may cause some issues with our model. And we also have a missing value. All of the dark rows, as we saw, it had a very few missing values. If there were more missing values, there may be a lot of white dots along here. And here as well, we can just see very few missing values as well. So that was just a little bit deeper dive into the customer satisfaction use case that we did in relation to kind of what you had shared, Fabio, as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining, Fabio, Daniel as well. We'd love to open it up for any discussion points.